You didn't walk in confused. You walked in clear. And still, the second your child pushed back, your view of them changed. Not gradually, not thoughtfully, in an instant. You stopped seeing your child and you started seeing a problem. For over 15 years, in workshops, programs, and real conversations, I've guided parents through moments exactly like this. It usually shows up in a very familiar way. In moments of resistance, the real work is not only holding a boundary. 3 things are in play at once. Number 1, how well you understand your child in that moment. Number 2, how steady your boundary actually is. And 3, whether you can stay emotionally intact as the adult. I call this the emotional triad of steady authority. These are 3 separate capacities. They often get tangled together. That's why we're breaking this into 3 different videos. Each one fails in a different way, and each one requires a different inner shift. In this first video, we're focusing on the first element, understanding your child, attunement when resistance hits. Here's the part people rarely notice. You weren't naive. You expected resistance. You weren't caught off guard by the fact that your child might push back. What you didn't anticipate was what the pushback would do to your perception. Maybe it was a sharp no. Maybe it was eye rolling. Maybe it was tears, them crying. Maybe it was a cold silence that felt pointed towards you. Whatever form it took, it landed right on the correct button. It just pushed it. And when that happened, something inside you shifted before you could even think. Your body reacted first. A rush of heat, a tightening of your chest. Your attention snapped forward. Your mind didn't reason. It went into overdrive. Your thoughts fired fast and ugly. You haven't even spoken yet, but they're already there. How dare they? Not again. Stop it. Don't let them run you over. These are all thoughts that come rushing into your head before you have a chance. It wasn't careful reflection. It wasn't thoughtful parenting, just urgency and edge. You didn't yet say a word, and you were already exploding inside. That's the moment that matters. Not your plan, not your intention, not the calm adult you were 5 seconds earlier. This is the real moment. When resistance lands and your perception flips. Here is the specific challenge. The problem is not the boundary. The problem is what happens to how you see your child when your buttons get pressed. In that split second, you stop seeing a child who is struggling or is testing limits. You start seeing an opponent, a threat, or an obstacle. Nuance disappears. Your view collapses and your empathy narrows. You move from parent to defender. That is the attunement fracture. Here's what actually changes inside you. A moment ago, your job was simple. Hold your decision and understand your child. But when the buttons get pressed, your internal job quietly changes. It becomes protect yourself from what you're feeling. Your attention moves from your child to your own reaction, from understanding to self-defense. Instead of asking yourself, what is my child showing me right now? You start asking, how do I get them to stop? How do I not lose it? You start asking, how do I get them to stop? How do I not lose it? How do I regain control of this moment? Underneath that is a very human, a very raw feeling you rarely admit. You don't get to talk to me like that. That's not cruelty. That's your dignity flaring up. You're not trying to dominate your child. You're trying to protect yourself. But here's the paradox. The more you protect yourself, the less clearly you see your child. You can feel it. Your tone sharpens, your attention narrows, your body leans forward. You're no longer reading your child. You're reacting to them. You move from, I understand my child while holding my boundary, to, I need to survive this moment. That is the attunement shift. Focus on the one objective. Is it the screen needs to turn off now? Bedtime is now. The one responsibility that you're focused on. Your attention returns not to control, but to seeing clearly again. Your child might still be upset. Your body might still feel tight. That's fine. You stop trying to manage your reaction. You come back to seeing your child as a person, not a problem. You don't become softer, you become clearer. You don't become gentler, you become steadier in your perception. You don't stop caring, you stop losing sight of them. Your core value is attuned authority. You hold your boundary while still seeing your child as a person, not a problem. If you want to see how this pattern shows up for you, I created a short pressure pattern scoreboard. It takes most parents about 3 minutes or so to complete, and it'll help you identify your pattern under pressure. You'll find the link below. I want to give you an anchor, a quiet reframe. When your button gets pressed, don't lose sight of your child. Your boundary can stand firm only if your view of your child stays clear.